Harbour is an Australian outdoor furniture brand known for specifying collections in picturesque locations around the globe. We are so lucky to work with amazing designers on projects across residential and hospitality to create a luxury and high-end feel, with many of our collections named after coastal locations around Australia and the world. Today we are chatting to Kristine Yeats, an architect and designer at KY Design&More, with over 30 years experience working on hospitality, commercial, medical and residential projects across Australia, the South Pacific and Hawaii. So it's great to have you in the showroom today, Kristine.
Great to be here, Patrick.
Good to see you. Can you tell us about the Hayman Island Resort project?
Sure. Well, I've got quite a history with Hayman Island. Originally in 2014, I was engaged by one and only to help facilitate the opening of the rebranding of Hayman. It underwent an $80 million refurb. I was engaged as a project manager and I didn't end up leaving the island till 2 years later, where I facilitated projects that weren't under the original refurb. In 2017, Cyclone Debbie hit the Whitsundays, where Hayman Island was devastated. Malfa, the owner of the island, contacted me to see whether in the first instance I would be interested in assisting them with the insurance claim, because I knew the infrastructure of the island very, very well, living on there for 2 years previous. And then that developed into being engaged as the design architect for their high-end properties on the island, the existing beach villas, the spa, the retreats, and then they engaged me as the architect and designer to do the beach house, which is the premium property on the island.
What was the design brief for the beach house?
Well, the location of the beach house sat in line with the existing Kerry Hill designed beach villas. So the architecture needed to be sympathetic. So due to the location of the beach house being right on the water and in the tropics, I had to select furniture, outdoor and indoor, which could withstand being in the tropics. So Harbour was a no-brainer because their outdoor furniture could also be used inside. It was just easy. And with the different ranges, and I think I probably had about 5 different ranges in the house, they're not the same, but they complement each other. So it was it was just an easy fit.
Ironically, you also specified products from the Hayman collection.
Yes.
Was that intentional?
No. It was a coincidence, but I believe the range was inspired and named before I specified, so it was just a big coincidence. But the reason I did specify the Hayman was that in the main house, the pool is literally right in front. All the pools are contained within the framework of the house. So although they're outside, they're actually inside, if you know what I mean. Once the doors are open, they're inside the fabric. So when the guest is in the pool, they come out and they're wet and they sit on the lounge. So it's umbrella fabric, waterproof inserts, aluminium. I mean, it's just perfect. The aluminium doesn't get hot. And yeah, it was just a perfect range for the location of where I specified it in the beach house.
Right. At Harbour, we'd like to blend our indoor and outdoor spaces. What would you say is the hero piece on the island?
Well, again, back to the beach house, the 2 end suites have a pool on a deck, and I use the Avalon daybed on the deck as more, I guess, a romantic piece. The olefin detail on the arms just again lends itself to perfect outdoor piece, which, funny enough, I also use the same piece in the day spa in the couples retreat. So I've taken that and used it internally as well.
You did a great job on the island. I've seen the results and it looks amazing.
I mean, I'm really, really proud of what I've done up there, and I'm really, really happy with all the product from Harbour Outdoor. It just made my job so easy, knowing that the seamless specification, delivery, and service that Harbour give just make my life and my job a lot easy.
So what are you seeing as trends as we're moving closer to the summer season?
Definitely outdoor living and alfresco dining. You know, renovations, new builds, all that it's the feature of a house or accommodation is that indoor-outdoor transitional space, which Harbour lends itself to. The other thing is that teak, I think, is, although it's been around for years and years and years, it's becoming really popular because the timber can be used outside. Naturally patinas to a beautiful silver, or it can be stained, but it can also be used inside, outside, and the sustainability aspects of the product as well.
We're seeing a lot more teak being specified and selected by a customer for their spaces, and even if it's just a stump, just to add that softness and organic nature to a space, it really just enlivens it up.
Yeah. And the durability aspect of it as well. Also, I think the olefin, I mean, I specified that 2 years ago, and I just think it's a product that doesn't date. It's synthetic, so it can be used outside, and it's a beautiful, beautiful detail for a side backrest of a chair, and to integrate it with either the teak or the aluminium. Both materials complement each other.
I would say, interestingly, especially the olefin is showing up more in indoor spaces. So when we talk about blending indoor-outdoor spaces, I am really intrigued where olefin is certainly selected for an indoor space. And I think it's the silhouette overall that lends itself to just being quite conducive for both spaces, which is great to see.
Silhouette and comfort, I think.
Most definitely. Kristine, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
We are sitting on the Antigua sofa, which is one of our new collections, and we were speaking about the olefin, which this is a great representation of that. I certainly look forward to working with you again and specifying your next project.
Oh, me too, Patrick. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.